In December 2012, Blandina Teofilumbaga submitted her thesis, Pregnancy and Perinatal Health Outcomes in Northern Tanzania, a registry-based study, neonatal care admissions, and recorded causes of neonatal and perinatal deaths, to be evaluated for the degree Philosophia Doctor at the University of Bergen. The study has been performed at the Department of Global Public Health and Primary Care with Professor Anne-Kjersti Dahltveit as main supervisor and Professor Rolf Terje Lie, Professor Gunnar Kvåle, and Professor Raymond Olomi from KCMC to Miami University as co-supervisors. The Faculty of Medicine and Dentistry appointed the following evaluation committee to evaluate the thesis. Professor Jon Øyvind Odland, University of Tromsø. Professor Geir Wenberg Jacobsen, Norwegian University of Science and Technology. Researcher Ingunn Marie Engebretsen, University of Bergen. She's the leader of the committee. In accordance with the evaluation committee's reports, the faculty has found the thesis worthy of being defended for the degree of PhD. As required by the rules, Blandina Teofilumbaga has presented the following public lecture: Death on the Doorstep of Life, Peri and Neonatal Deaths in Sub-Saharan Africa, Trends, Explanatory Factors, and the Way Forward. The evaluation committee has approved the lecture, and today the candidate will defend her thesis. Acting as opponents are: first opponent, Jon Øyvind Odland; second opponent, Geir Wenberg Jacobsen. Others may be granted permission to appear as opponents ex auditorio. Should anyone so desire, it must be made known to the dean before the second opponent takes the floor. We will have a short break, 5 minutes, after the first opponent. So then you can tell me if you need to oppose. I will now ask the candidate to give a review of the objectives and findings of her scientific work.
Dean, members of the evaluation committee, my supervisors, friends and colleagues, good morning. I'm Blandina Teofilumbaga. I'm here to present the summary of the findings of my thesis, whose title is Pregnancy and Perinatal Health Outcomes in Northern Tanzania, a registry-based study. In this summary, I'll talk on the risk factor for neonatal care admissions and causes of neonatal and perinatal death in Northern Tanzania. Outline of my presentation will be as follows. I will give you a little introduction on the global magnitude of neonatal mortality. I will then give you the main aim of the studies included in this thesis. I will give you material and methods I used for the studies. Further, I will explain the results of paper 1 to paper 3, which are included in this thesis, giving the specific objective and the results. I will then talk on the limitations and the strength of the study and give you what I think are future direction for research. Introduction. Globally, there are 2.6 million babies who are stillborn annually, and furthermore, there are 3.3 million babies who die during the neonatal period. That means from day 28 completed days. Neonatal death accounts for nearly 40% of global under 5 death, and alarmingly, 98% of these deaths occur in developing countries, with causes being easily preventable. And the UN Millennium Development Goal number 4, which aims to reduce child death by 2/3 from 1990 to 2015, will hardly be reached due to the slow decline in neonatal mortality. So without effective measures to improve neonatal mortality, this goal will hardly be reached. Child death in Tanzania. In Tanzania, the MDG target is to reduce neonatal mortality up to 47, and the under 5 death started to decline from the year 2000, and the infant mortality, it shows much decline. However, the neonatal mortality, which is in blue, is having a very slow progress, where the share of neonatal death is also increased from 27 to 33%. So the main aim of the thesis was to assess risk factors associated with neonatal morbidity and causes of neonatal and perinatal mortality at a tertiary care hospital in northern Tanzania. So, material and method. This study was done at the Kilimanjaro Christian Medical Center, which is one of the zonal referral hospitals in Tanzania, and the hospital is located at the Moshi urban area, which is one of the smallest districts in the Kilimanjaro region. And the hospital is having a specialized neonatal care unit and having an annual delivery of around 3,500. And about 20% of the deliveries in this hospital are medically referred from Moshi urban area or from outside Moshi urban. Source of that, I used KCMC birth registry and the neonatal registry from July 2000 to August 2008 for paper 1, in which we excluded birth whose mother resided outside the Moshi urban area and who were referred for medical reasons. In paper 2, we used the KCMC birth registry and neonatal registry from July 2000 to October 2010 for paper 2 and paper 3. For paper 2, we included all inborn neonates admitted to neonatal care unit, and for paper 3, we included all births of at least 500 grams, in which 1,958 were perinatal deaths. Study outcomes. Study outcomes in this thesis were transfer to neonatal care unit, neonatal and perinatal death, and causes of neonatal and perinatal death. And risk factors under considerations were parental social demographic, maternal health, complications during labor and delivery, and neonatal factors. In analysis, crude and adjusted estimates of relative risk with their 95% confidence intervals were estimated by using generalized linear model in paper 1. And in paper 2, causes of neonatal death were classified by using the Wigglesworth classification of perinatal and neonatal death. Whereas in paper 3, causes of perinatal death were classified by using the neonate and intrauterine death classification according to etiology, known as NICE. All the analyses were performed in SPSS. Now I'll take you through paper 1. Paper 1 is entitled as Transfer of Newborns to Neonatal Care Unit, a registry-based study in northern Tanzania, accepted and published in BMC Pregnancy and Childbirth. In this paper, specific objectives were to estimate the incidence of newborn transfer to neonatal care unit and to assess socio-demographic, maternal, and newborn factors associated with newborn transfer to neonatal care unit. Results. We found that incidence of newborn transfer was 15%. In bivariate analysis, we found that pre-pregnancy factors were weakly associated with transfer, with mainly a relative risk of less than 1.5, in which the strongest one was only diabetes before pregnancy, which has a relative risk of 4.7, and birth to first child had a relative risk of 1.2. And pregnancy, labor, and deliveries were also strongly associated with the transfer, and here I mentioned only those with relative risk of more than 2 in bivariate analysis. And this includes gestation, diabetes, hypertension during pregnancy, preeclampsia, eclampsia, and others. Whereas neonatal factors in bivariate analysis were strongest associated with the transfer, in which birth weight below 1,500 grams had a relative risk of 9.8, birth weight more than 4,000 grams had a relative risk of 7.2, and 5 minutes Apgar score less than 7, relative risk of 6.9. In multivariate analysis, which the result is indicated in red, we can see that the pregnancy, and delivery factors, which were associated with the transfer in an adjusted analysis, were weakly associated with transfer, and most of them were not associated transfer. That's why we see now, instead of 10 from unadjusted, we remained with only 5, which were associated with the transfer. However, birth to first child, the risk was increased even after accounting for newborn factors. And for the neonatal factor, we see that they were all remained strongly associated with transfer. So, in conclusion from this paper, I can say incidence of newborn transfer was 15%, and after much adjustment of all factors, mainly neonatal factor were strongest associated with transfer. However, risk of transfer for first birth was still significant and increased. Now I take you in paper 2, which was titled Cause-Specific Neonatal Mortality in a Neonatal Care Unit in Northern Tanzania, a registry-based county study. This paper was accepted and published in BMC Pediatrics. The specific objectives were to assess major causes of admission to neonatal care unit and their case fatality, and to assess causes of neonatal death in a neonatal care unit, in which causes of neonatal death were classified by Wigglesworth classification. Results. We see that the major causes of admissions are in blue color. The major cause of admission was birth asphyxia, prematurity, risk of infection, and high birth weight above 4,000 grams. And low birth weight were also admitted plus preterm birth. When we look at the case fatality, we see that the highest case fatality actually was in respiratory distress syndrome, in which 52 of 99 newborn died, which was 52%. And babies with congenital malformation, 49 died, which was 44%. And also, 24% of babies with birth asphyxia died, and 22% of babies with prematurity. However, low birth weight in total contributed to more than 50% of overall mortality. So in looking at the cause-specific neonatal death, we see from this figure that birth asphyxia was the major causes of perinatal death, which accounted for 46% of the death, followed by prematurity, which accounted for 35% of the death. And birth asphyxia was the common cause of death in normal birth weight babies, in which 73% of normal birth weight babies who died were due to birth asphyxia, whereas prematurity was the major cause of death in low birth weight, in which 90% of death were of low birth weight. So prematurity and birth asphyxia together each accounted for 1/3 of total death. In conclusion, major causes of death were birth asphyxia and prematurity, and birth asphyxia was the most frequent cause of death in normal birth weight babies. And the low birth weight accounted for 52% of death. Case fatality was highest for babies with respiratory distress syndrome. I will now take you through paper 3. Paper 3 was entitled as Causes of Perinatal Death at a tertiary care hospital in northern Tanzania from 2000 to 2010, accepted and published in BMC Pregnancy and Childbirth. Specific objectives were to estimate perinatal, stillbirth, and early neonatal mortality rates, and to identify causes of perinatal death using the neonatal and intrauterine death classification according to etiology. Results of the 33,929 newborns, 1,958 died perinatally, which gives us perinatal mortality of 57.7. And overall major causes of death were unexplained asphyxia, obstetric complication, of which 80% were obstructed labor. And the other cause was maternal disease, in which 90% were due to preeclampsia and eclampsia. When excluding death of mothers who were babies of mothers who were referred for medical reason, we see that unexplained asphyxia was still the major cause of perinatal death, whereas in referred cases, we see that obstetric complication carried a highest risk, in which the risk of perinatal death were 18.1, followed by maternal disease was the second major cause of death, with a relative risk of 4, and abruption placenta also carried a relative risk of perinatal death. Looking at the perinatal death on the undefined group, it was 45.6, and in the defined group it was 109. So perinatal mortality was highest, more than 2.4 for babies of mothers who are referred for medical reason. And Overall, in perinatal death, 36% were of mothers who were referred for complications. In conclusion, overall perinatal mortality was high, and major causes of perinatal death were unexplained asphyxia, obstetric causes, of which 80% were mothers with obstructed labor, and maternal diseases, of which 90% were mothers with preeclampsia and eclampsia. Unexplained antepartum stillbirth was also one of the leading causes of perinatal death. Perinatal mortality was highest for the medically referred group. So, study limitation. This is a hospital-based study in a referral facility in which there is a possible selection bias, which may overestimate some causes because of complications, and also there is a possibility of underestimation of perinatal death, since babies who die after being discharged from the hospital are not followed up, and they are missed if they die outside of the hospital area. And only inborn downers were included in paper 2. Uncertainty in gestation age or lack of gestation age may lead to misclassify some causes of death in groups which did not depend on gestation age. And generalization of the findings is one of the problems, because not all women in Kilimanjaro deliver at the hospital, as nearly 30% are home delivered. And the strength is that this is the registry data which had used a standardized questionnaire with large sample, and the perinatal mortality was continuously recorded. Exclusion of birth from women residing outside the hospital catchment area in paper 1 may have reduced the referral bias. And what is then future direction for research? This may be going along asking high number of deaths for hypertensive disorders, which may call for creating a counseling mechanism on pregnancy danger signs and create an awareness and follow-up. And also, birth to obstructed labor and birth asphyxia may call an attention to to evaluate measures, the effect of pantograph use, and see how it can help in identifying women who need emergency care. And death of medically referred group call for an intervention to evaluate the most important source of delays in different systems within the area, and also create feedback mechanism across the referral levels. Thank you.
Thank you, Blandina, for your review. I will now ask the first opponent to commence.
Hallå, det blev våldsamt där. Ja, kanske, jag tror det skulle vara lite grann här. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to read this and to think around it by one specific reason, and I have to explain that before we start now. I presented as a professor at the University of Tromsø, and of course that's the northernmost Arctic university of the world. Part of my work today is not in Tromsø. I'm a visiting professor at the College of Medicine of Malawi. And that's why I'm so really interested when you start to talk about Malawi. So I will come back to that. And when you talk about all those worst cases south of Sahara, I really feel it coming to me as a human being, because of course we have a lot of problems south of Sahara, but we also have some of the best part of life on the globe, I would say. So we should turn this a little around now. We have big challenges, but we have also big opportunities. And that's because we always use our statistical presentation to tell how bad everything is. So that's why I felt very well when I've been reading your thesis. So that's the beginning. And as I understand, you are, as I also have to tell, I'm an obstetrician. So I'm working on pregnancy health, more than the perinatal health, because that's something I might move more over to you with your profession as a pediatrician. Am I right? So we should make an excellent team for the coming years, I think. So then to the defense. I know that my second opponent colleague, Professor Jacobsen, will talk more about the methodology in this. And so I would like to concentrate more about what does this paper, this thesis, really mean for us, for our work. Are we just talking about the academic part, or are we talking about how to implement our knowledge into more practical work, practical advices for the people, for the authorities, and so on? And then my first comment is on your slides about the background information. It's very much related to tables, to hard facts about mortality, morbidity, and so on. So can you tell me first, where do you have those figures from when you present the general overview of the situation? Which are the sources, and how do you assess those sources in the big picture?
Yeah. As I showed in my background, I just had one slide which showed the sources of estimate of neonatal death. They are mainly from demographic and health surveys in countries which are doing demographic and health surveys, and they are also in from some studies which are reported in those countries, and it's mainly based on some kind of modeling methods in which they try also to put into account some of the problems which are within some of the countries. And for the countries without even data available, they try to estimate it by using those kind of modeling methods.
So how would you assess your data, for instance? I can see a lot of it is from WHO reports, and where you get it from official sources. Do you think that these official sources are reliable?
Yeah, it's difficult to say not reliable or reliable, but that's why I see that is an importance of a specific area to look at the real mortality which occurs within that area, and even looking at the cause which occur in a specific area, rather than relying on the general view which are presented based on different places.
When you talk about how many children are born per year now globally?
Yeah, it's estimated to be 1,036 million.
Yes, and what do we know about those kids? Do we know the birth weight of all of them?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest problems, because the demographic and health surveys, they lack a birth weight in most of them, and even if for those who are presenting birth weight, it's just by estimating, asking the mothers how big or small the child was looking like, and then they estimate birth weight. So it's not that sure we know. We don't know actually. Most of these babies' birth weight.
So you know, you are into a very nice birth registry in your part of the work. And you know, can you guess how many countries of the world do really have such nice birth registries?
I think most of the countries which have that is most of the higher income countries. But to say from the lower income countries, I don't think that so many countries are having this kind of birth registry.
Is this a medical problem, is it a health problem, or is it the political problem?
Yeah, I think I can say it's a political problem. Yeah.
I totally agree. I spent 20 years in Russia with different projects, all through the perestroika, the Yeltsin time, up to now. When we started to work there, they had a monthly meeting in the regional committee of Murmansk. They said, this month we want to have a perinatal mortality at 15. And then they didn't care about the figures. They just told it was 15. So I think still there are some parts of the world where they do a political decision on these things. That is very dangerous if you want to do something decent work to improve the situation. But you have a good place on earth now in northern Tanzania, where you have a very good birth registry. And do you think you get most of the deliveries into that?
Yeah, that I get most of deliveries to be recorded in that birth register. Yeah, no, because the birth register unfortunately records only deliveries within one hospital. So not within the whole Kilimanjaro region.
But this is a private hospital. It's an NGO hospital, as I understand it correctly?
Yeah, it's a private.
Yeah. What is the relation to the public authorities, to the public system, health surveillance?
Yeah, this is a private hospital, but it's called a private not-for-profit hospital, and it's supported halfway by the Ministry of Health. Yeah, especially for all workers who are working there, we are getting our salary from the Ministry of Health, so that we can give services to all people who are around there. So, yeah.
But does that mean then it's representative for a bigger area of Tanzania, or is just?
Yeah, it's referred as a zone referral hospital for the northern part of Tanzania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just need to supplement with a little anecdote now and then. You know, there's a big new problem now between Tanzania and Malawi. Can you guess? It's totally outside the scope. You will not be rejected because if you don't know. Now the problem is that they have found oil in the Malawi Sea. And whenever you find oil, there is a big problem. Oil is the worst thing that can happen to a nation. Because then, of course, there is a big conflict coming up. Tanzania, they even bought some kind of marine warrior ship from the British government now. So they have brought into the Malawi lake. So I wonder what will happen. But it might have to do something about the collaboration between me in Malawi and you in Tanzania. But that's a totally different story. But I don't think. I really hope this is a fake information. They will not find oil there. Yeah. But back to your place. So that you say there is a good relation between the public authorities and the private hospitals here, so you can have reliable information. And you provide this information from the registry to the health authorities. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a very good strategy and start of a strategy. So, well, then in practical, have you been part of the practical implementation of the registry, or are you just using the data?
Yeah, before I came here, I was part of the registry as a member of steering committee of the birth registry. Yeah, that's what I can say. So whenever we had an annual meeting, we are trying to see the problems which we encounter through the birth registry and trying to see how much we can improve the registry for the future. Yeah.
But does that mean that there is like a backward registration of the mothers? Like you say, the first papers were transfer of the newborns and causes of admission. That means, in a way, you register the babies then, and you transfer back to registry the mothers.
Yeah. The way the birth registry is that every woman after delivery, within the 24 hours after delivery, they are interviewed before they are discharged to go home. So they give their background informations, which are within the questionnaire, the social background informations, and also they are asked about their health status before pregnancy and during pregnancy, and then the outcome of the baby after delivery is also recorded. If there was any complications or referral letter, which indicates the reason of referral, is then indicated in the form, and then if the child is transferred, because there is a record of child status. If the child is born as stillborn, is recorded. If the child is born as live-born, or the child is transferred to the neonatal care unit, or the child just died within labor ward, or shortly in the neonatal care unit. So for the transferred neonate, when they reach to the neonatal care unit, then we have another form which we record information of the babe, including the reason why this baby has been transferred down, and also at the end of discharge, then we report the diagnosis, if the child died or the child was discharged alive.
That's very good.
Yeah.
What I really need to get totally clear is there are two groups I missed them. That is this who are really stillborn at home or in the bush or wherever. Can you trace them? Do they get into the registry?
No, it's only for those who are admitted in the ward.
Yeah. That means we're also losing those totally normal pregnancies who never come
Never
to
attended to this hospital.
Yeah. So is there any way you could access that? Because that should obviously be something part of a complete registry.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's one of the limitations, that we don't follow them maybe after discharge. And for the background history, maybe what happened for the previous pregnancy, that one we have, because we take up the reproductive history, in which later on we have been able to look on the recurrence risk of some perinatal outcomes in this population, and some of the papers are already published.
But that means even in your part of Tanzania and the north, where you have your registry, you lose quite a lot of those normal children or the stillbirths.
Yeah.
What about the other parts of Tanzania where there is no registry? Is that where you really have to do it in the Soviet way to calculate? Or?
Yeah, same the truth. In those parts of Tanzania where there is no registry, that means much are being lost, because they will be catched up during demographic and health surveys when mothers are asked the child who has been lost within 5 years, and maybe from the hospital reports for those who are dying within the hospital, when they collect the monthly and the hospital reports of mortality, then there is where they can be